do you think in Europe, in the U.S., all over the Western world, they're bringing in, there's lots of Muslim countries that aren't that radical like Jordan and others, they're bringing in the most radical from war-torn areas they know. They're flying planes in every day to Austin, D.C., New York, with hundreds of people on board, not checking IDs. They're giving them new fake names and Social Security numbers. That's in the news. But then you and I, they want to naked body scan us at the airport. What is that really about from your deep research, Tim Kennedy?
I mean, not only just research, but the corrosion of liberty. Like, it can't happen immediately. You know, like, if we go back to, 1770s and you raise taxes on tea and we're going to throw crap into the bay. Like, they recognized early on that that's not how you can go about it. You have to slowly erode the idea of liberty. So let's align, let's take the left and let's align ourselves with an ideology that will continue to make huge, horrific, terrible events take place so that they can attack slowly and methodically our way of life. That they can erode our freedom, that they can take away our guns, that they can take away our freedom of speech, that they can, get rid of search and seizure, that they can try to get a back door into every single one of our phones. This is, don't think for a second that all of this is not by design. They want to be in your phone. They want to read every...
The FBI finally admitted yesterday we could get into the phone all along. And I'm not even against the FBI themselves, but these big multinationals, I mean, they're letting the Chinese government into the NSA now. You can't give these codes up because the government has been pretty much seized by foreign interests.
What happened to, a patriot, an American, a barrel-chested freedom fighter, being that guy that would say, no, I believe in our way of life, and I don't care what happens. I believe in a dangerous freedom over, like peaceful slavery. What happened to that idea? Now we're willing to give away everything. We're willing to give away access to our phones, to our emails, to our homes, even our right to peacefully assemble or to speak.
But when the jihadi leader in San Bernardino for years was on Facebook saying, I'm going to carry out jihad, went to terror training camps, the FBI knew, legally had the intel, weren't allowed to bust her.
Because they want it to happen. They can't take away our freedoms, they can't take away our liberties unless they have an examples to specifically reference that say, look, man, if we were able to get into those guys' phones in San Bernardino, just like yours and mine, then we could have prevented this. And then we have 350 million Americans who are like, oh my goodness, what sane person wouldn't want to be able to stop that?
So letting it happen is a type of false flag, and it's a fact. The local FBI tried to do their job within the law. They could have stopped it. They're ordered by the Justice Department and threatened with a trial for civil rights violations. The people they targeted are absolutely terrorists. They don't get awards. They get in trouble. And then the political people, the Justice Department, say, give us all your freedom when they, bottom line, protected the terrorists.
I'm not saying that the American government is saying, yes, let the jihadists fly planes into buildings.
Sure, but elements are...
What I'm saying is that they are now becoming opportunistic, that saying every time one of these things happens, it's just an opportunity to take away more American freedom.
Sure, that's what's happening.
That is exactly what's happening. And whether they're creating opportunities for these things to happen, or they're just opportunistically saying,
sure,
I'm going to take advantage of this.
Well, some of the corrupt elements on top are undoubtedly there, and so here's my question. Everybody I talk to who's been in combat is more awake than the public. Then I talk to special forces people across the board. They're the most awake people I talk to. I talk to a lot of cops. They're awake as well. But then I see the power structure doing bad stuff, but then the very members of the structure that do the enforcement are some of the best people I know. Have you found that paradox? Have you found that number, that statistic? And what does that represent? Because if true, from what I've seen, that's got to freak out some of the bad guys. They're not all bad at the top. It's got to freak them out knowing that their own foot soldiers are awake.
They have to be scared to death. When you look at the body of the American Special Operations community, they're guys like me. They are trained, they're educated, they're smart, they're well-traveled, multilingual, and we understand the bigger picture of things. They wish, they probably do, they wish that they could just hang back and have a bunch of lemmings that they could tell, hey, go get rid of these people, go destroy this culture, this way of life. But that's not how it is. You have very, very intelligent people that are finally seeing the big picture. It's like we've peeked behind and seen, the guy that's pulling all the strings, and we're done with it. We understand, and now we're taking action to hopefully affect change.
And that's what you're doing here today. You have a lot of courage to be here, buddy.
To a degree,
But you'll have no country if we don't stand up, so.
I love this way of life. Like I fought for it. I believe in it, and
It's yours.
and I'm going to continue to fight for it. And maybe I have to do it a different way, not from behind a gun anymore.
Well, you're doing a great job across the board, and folks really respect you and appreciate you. I get misrepresented all the time. It's like Jade Helm. I never said Jade Helm was a takeover. They were coming to take our guns. The military would never do that. I said it's more conditioning to make it about domestic operations, like you just said earlier, instead of fighting real threats. And then I've since talked to other folks in special ops. They say, no, Alex, we know you said that. We know they misrepresented. And then I see them doing that, and then they go on the news in thousands of publications and say that I said they were coming to Texas to take the guns. What's your real view on Jade Helm?
It's a fantastic training opportunity for guys like me and guys in my field to come to the best areas in the world to train. Like Texas, actually just the South Central, Southwest, Southeast. This is a great area, like with the Everglades and Louisiana, the Mississippi River, to do amphibious assaults, to be able to jump into ranches. There's no place like, even Texas that has such amount of land for us to do things. So it's a great opportunity on the small side, on the military side, for us to get better at what we do. But then on the flip side, it's also a way for the American populace to get used to seeing military activity in their area. So that's scary. I don't like that idea of, hey, let's get the American people used to seeing Humvees and, Polaris Razors and guys jumping out of C-130s or Blackhawks, haloing into some ranches in Texas. That's a scary thought that we're doing it. But from an individual standpoint, man, what a great training opportunity. I love being part of it. I love training. I love doing that because it makes me a better warfighter. But then the flip side is that we're now desensitizing the American people into having military operations in our own country.
Sure, and the media spins it that I hate the military when it's the opposite. All I'm saying is they're trying to get rid of posse comitatus. Generals have warned of it. And so I'm glad that you and others have, made that point. Separately, I want to get into the Bundy Ranch situation in a moment and also talk about UFC